bowlers today. Chris Prather starts off with a crown, but two other bowlers want it for themselves. Hall of Famer Chris Barnes and a young gun, A.J. Johnson. Those stars will square off for the chance to dethrone Chris. It's the PBA King of the Lanes, presented by Pass Blue Ribbon. Next. We are back at Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine as we kick off the 2021 PBA King of the Lanes presented by Pass Blue Ribbon. The world's best bowlers are here competing for the crown in front of the world's best bowling fans. Bo Pope. Our first show, 2020 King. Chris Prather starts as royalty. He'll wait and watch from the throne as legend Chris Barnes with 19 career titles, 3 majors, takes on the young star, A.J. Johnson. Welcome, bowling fans, back to Bayside. The fans are still here. We're glad you're here too. Dave Ryan alongside the Hall of Famer Randy Pedersen. Speaking of making some noise, when Barnes and Johnson match up, might have some trash talking going on.
There's no maybe about it. They're going to get after each other. They had a little smack talking session in Jonesboro, and then earlier this year at the Masters. It's hard to concentrate. A.J. Johnson really likes to chirp, and there's nobody better at giving it back than Chris Barnes. Our opening matchup is going to be electrifying.
Wes Malott began last year as the king, but Chris Prather took the crown as he won it all in Jupiter, Florida. Beat some pretty good bowlers along the way.
Yeah, he really did, and he did some nice bowling there. Took down Sean Rash to grab the throne, and then beat none other than Pete Weber to retain the throne. Let's not forget he's a major championship winner, by the way, capturing the Tournament of Champions.
And Chris Prather is joined now by our Kimberly Pressler.
Well, Chris, you have been the reigning king for the past year. Are you ready to defend your crown here?
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this moment all year. I'm looking forward to the battles, and hopefully the crown stays with me.
And the fact that you get to do it here at Bayside, you were part of the Portland Lumberjacks and PBA League team, and you get to do it in front of them. What's that like?
You can hear it for yourself. They're going to be amazing. I'm really excited about it. And Portland, let America hear it!
We're all ready.
All right. Hey, King, that was awesome. Here are the odds to win provided by Fox Bet. Favorite Chris Barnes. Plus 115 for A.J. Johnson to start our action here today in Portland. Clearly, Chris Prather is pumped up. Let's meet the bowlers.
From Oswego, Illinois, he bowls out of Foxbowl in Wheaton, A.J. Johnson.
This 7-year pro is still looking for his first tour victory. He's been close with 5 second-place finishes in his career.
Won it all with the Atom Splitters in 2018. The Elias Cup with some big names on the PBA Tour. The last 2 PBA League champs. Portland Lumberjacks. Won it here in 19 and in 2020 in Centerville, Virginia. So AJ's back home. And pumped to bowl here today. Great young athlete. Good history, Team USA. Good start for AJ.
From Denton, Texas, rolling out of AMF Louisville Lanes, PBA Hall of Famer, Chris Barnes.
Well, one of the best to ever lace them up with 19 titles and 3 majors. He was voted the 26th greatest player of all time, and now at the age of 51, he competes on both the PBA and PBA 50 tours.
So great to see Chris Barnes back on TV.
Don't fool around, Ricky. Give him the heater.
The last Cup champ, Atom Splitters, as well as the MVP in this building, Chris Barnes. 4-pin to start for Chris.
Chris deciding to go real straight out of the gate, and this one's tugged just a little bit. But he's going to go straight and hard, use that ball speed. And one of few that still throws 16 pounds on the tour. The other.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say the other, Norm Duke. And a whiff for Chris Barnes right out of the gate.
Goodness. Early opening for A.J. Johnson. We'll see if he can take advantage as Chris Prater on the throne with the crown of the scepter watches. There's the arsenal for Chris. The hands are jacked up here as always.
Check out that ball speed. It's the fastest that I can remember for a strike ball on the tour. We've seen him in the 20s, maybe even 21. I can't remember seeing anyone throwing it at 22 miles an hour.
He talked to us yesterday about recovering from the back surgery a few years ago and how now he feels really good. Lots of working out, lots of stretching. A.J. right lane didn't like it. That's why it's the big four.
Well, he knew it as soon as he let it go. Watch this reaction. And, I mean, that ball wasn't to the arrows, and he knew it was bad.
Can't convert.
Still only made one time on the PBA Tour. Well, I should say in the history of the PBA Tour on television. Walter A. Williams Jr., the only player to ever make the Big Four on television.
2005, suburban Atlanta. You and I called it way back. We've been doing this a while, partner.
Yes, sir.
All right, so a couple opens. That's better.
Couple boards right of the last shot on that left lane, and you can see there's a little bit of room if you put the good touch on it. That's exactly what A.J. Johnson did right there.
Right lane for Barnes. Flat 10. Tremendous career, Wichita State. The professional accolades in Team USA. Amongst the best ever for this guy. And some top 10s at majors this year. Okay. Having some fun with that. Got his mark.
42-foot Mark Roth oil pattern. We see Chris Barnes right out of the gate going really straight, just right at second arrow. A.J. Johnson, however, he's in and he's going to curve it. Or hook it, depending on what area you come from.
Fourth for Barnes.
Man. Whoa! And again. That's almost 23 miles an hour, folks. I mean, that's really bringing the thunder. And at age 51, throwing a 16-pound ball, it just kind of goes to show you what kind of athlete Chris Barnes is.
Clearly, he feels just fine. We talked about the trash talking between these two. Both say it's just competitive and fun, but it's happened a couple times. Reno, Jonesboro, looked down again, didn't like it. That's the reason. Ooh. 3, 6, 7, 10 up.
Yeah, he's afraid to get the ball to the right on that right lane. The right lane typically a little bit tighter. He's going to try to get the ball to the right of the 3-pin and then cut it over into the 7. Traditionally here at Bayside on these two lanes, the left lane hooks a little bit more.
Can't get it to the 7-pin. Open frame again for AJ.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we may not get the the fireworks with the trash talking, because AJ really doesn't have a whole lot to talk trash about after 4 frames.
Not right now. In Jonesboro, event won by Kyle Troop. AJ said, I'm back after a big shot. Then Chris, after a big shot, said, you're back, I'm still here. He's done a little more than AJ in terms of the career accolades. Although Johnson, great potential. All right, that's a lot better.
It's like, hey, just do the same thing on that lane. Yeah, if you want to see that that matchup, by the way, I believe it's on YouTube.
It is.
This guy's a great athlete as well. A.J. Johnson played quarterback in high school, and this guy's got a lot of power. It's kind of hard to believe he hasn't won yet out on tour.
Barnes won 267, 256.
Uh-oh.
Well, that could have been a lot worse. 4-pin only on the right lane.
These players, according to Strike Track powered by Kia, are playing the lanes 11 boards different. And you can see just how straight up the lane that shot was. A little straighter than Chris would have liked.
98% conversion rate, PBA Tour for the 4-pin.
Oh my
automatic,
God.
and boy, he hesitated, Randy. He looked down, and he whiffs by a lot.
That's why that's a problem.
On the right lane. Not close. Man.
Well, I'm not sure he stuck the first time he missed the 4-pin. I couldn't tell. But this time it looks like he sticks right there. It's kind of hard to believe that a player of his caliber misses back-to-back 4-pins on that right lane.
Fans chanting Barney, and that is just fine in the left lane. But the right lane for both bowlers has been problematic.
Well, a lot of opens so far. Let's see if these guys can get back on track and start stringing some strikes.
The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will. And by the K5 from Kia. Movement that inspires. Oh, it's a beautiful Saturday in Portland, Maine. Rented a kayak this morning. Little Casco Bay paddling, Randy. It was awesome. I want to move here.
Just in the summer.
Oh. All right, A.J. Johnson, let's see what happens. The right lane has been very troublesome.
There's only been one mark on the right lane halfway through this match.
See if A.J. can fare better here. Bringing 10-pin, good shot.
Yeah, that was a really good shot. He was working on a strike, too, and he could have taken the lead. Watch how fast the 6 boomerangs around that 10-pin.
Great high school athlete. You mentioned that. Was recruited by Illinois State to play quarterback. 10-pin, got that. But at that point, he told us he was all in on bowling.
And take a look at just how different these two players are playing the 42-foot Mark Roth oil pattern. Chris Barnes, the blue ball. Notice how far out in front he is because he's thrown it so fast. Some big differences in those numbers. Check it out. The launch position is the laydown position, folks.
Seventh frame, he didn't like it, that's why. High shot, 3-6-10.
He's just not making good shots, and you can see that's pulled left. I don't know how much of it is the energy in the building. The players haven't bowled in front of fans in so long, and it's so easy to get overjacked here in Portland, Maine.
It's been 16 months since we've had live fans at events, and it's another open for AJ. The trouble continues. 10-pin stands. 17-pin lead.
Well, they're making it look a lot harder than I think it is. Just some really simple spares. I mean, you saw the percentage of the 4-pin is 98%, and that time Chris definitely stuck. The first one didn't look like it was a footing issue.
Hey, there you go. Struck in the right lane and a 27-pin lead for Chris Barnes.
This nonsense.
He's angry at that pin deck on the right lane.
No, he's angry at what's been going on in this game, missing easy spares. He says it's enough of that nonsense.
Max scores. Finally a strike for Barnes in the right lane. Left lane, yeah!
Here we go.
Here comes a legend. Got the turkey and a 37-pin lead.
Well, Chris Barnes did exactly what great champions do, and they're given an opening, and Chris has finally settled down enough, and he's made 3 really good shots in a row to take a 37-pin lead late.
Time is back for AJ. All right, trip 4-pin. Desperately needs strikes.
Well, he strikes out, he shoots 190, and Chris Barnes is at 197 right now. Max score of 227. AJ's going to need to strike out, and he's going to need a lot of help from Chris Barnes.
They matched up, trying to make the show of the Masters in Reno. Barnes won 621 to 600. Afterwards, AJ slammed his ball down on the rack. A little frustration, didn't shake hands right away. So yeah, there's been a little back and forth between these two.
Look at power on the PBA Tour these days. When those numbers get into the 20s and that rev rate gets over 500,
Let's go.
that's usually the top of the leaderboard when it comes to power and speed.
How will Chris respond to the fans? That's a good shot. Bring in 10-pin.
Well, this should be a relatively easy spare.
Should be. Should be.
You just don't know at this point. I mean, Chris could make this with his eyes closed, but remember, he's missed 2 4-pins.
Both in the right lane.
Good.
All right, got that one. Nothing to say here, no problem.
All right, so good count to mark. And then Chris Barnes will take on Chris Prather.
The reigning king, 2020 champion there he is. Watching, thinking, strategizing. That's what Barnes needs. The fans chanting his name. He's got it. A strike and a win for Chris Barnes. The clincher for Chris. That'll be a Chris versus Chris matchup to see who keeps the crown after this show.
Guess that one's not it. Go the other one. That ain't
AJ Johnson won a regional in Seattle. Darren Tang, happy to get a recent win. And let's face it, one of the most talented bowlers out here. Trying to put it all together. Still for his first title.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't get the trash talking match that we were all expecting.
AJ's dad, Sean, and Chris are very good friends. Intense guy, Randy. Frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, he's really a talented young man, and again, it's just kind of a question I think a lot of people ask themselves is that why hasn't A.J. Johnson won on the tour yet? And I'm not really sure what the answer is.
That was a mess.
Yeah.
All right. Bring on the king. I want a crown.
Gonna be Chris versus Chris. Spell it with a C, spell it with a K. The reigning king wants to hang on to the throne. The crown, the scepter, and the robe. It's coming up. A reminder, coming up next at 3 Eastern, the PBA King of the Lanes, presented by Pabst Blue Ribbon, continues as contenders. Jesper Svensson and the legend PB3. Parker Bowman, the third face-off to meet the king of this show, either Barnes or Prather. 196, 190. Hall of Famer Chris Barnes survives over the young gun A.J. Johnson in our first match. Randy, let's break it down.
Eighth frame for Barnes, shreds the rack. And then all he needs is a mark and good count in the 10th frame. And what better way to get a mark than 10 back?
Barnes advances the take on Prather. And now, he's joined by Kimberly Pressler.
I sure am. Thanks, guys. So, Chris, congratulations on advancing. But let's talk about spear shots.
Yeah.
How did you rate yours today?
I'm telling you, my heart rate has been off the charts all day. I don't, 100th show in, and this place is still different.
It absolutely is. I can see how it can get overwhelming out here. But let's talk about that right lane because it was giving both you and AJ some issues. How do you plan to overcome that in the next match against Prather?
It's still the same from the ladies' shows, too. That it's tighter down lane. It's a little bit trickier. It still hooks in the front. But really, most of it was on me. I just didn't bowl very good. So I'm going to plan on not leaving so many single pins because if I make them the first time, I don't have to shoot them.
That's right.
There we go.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
It's that easy, right, Chris? Absolutely. There's the Hall of Famer. Barnes against Prather. This place is rocking. Bayside Bowl ready for more. It's next on FS1. Tomorrow on Fox, the biggest soccer tournament of the year continues with group stage play as Venezuela and Ecuador battle for their first win of the tournament. It all kicks off tomorrow, 5 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. What a matchup here. There are the odds to win, provided by Fox Bet. Chris Prather, your favorite. 6-pin win, Barnes. In our first match, beat A.J. Johnson. Now the reigning king. Match 2, show 1, underway. Good start for Barnes.
The reigning king of the lanes is from Plainfield, Illinois. Bowling out of Plainfield Lanes, His Majesty, Chris Prather.
The king, Chris Prather, quickly becoming a star on the PBA Tour. 2019 was his breakout year. And in 2020, he won his first major, the TOC. Well, let me just say that Chris is very comfortable in this building.
PBA playoffs champ 2019. Two-time Elias Cup champ for the Lumberjacks. Yeah, the Lumberjack chop is rocking here. Shark Kent starts his day with a strike on the right lane.
Well, it's one of my favorite games out on tour. It's just so solid. And I think I've said it before, you could actually put a plate of food on Chris's head as he's going to the foul line, and he wouldn't spill a morsel. And then, of course, he's got the great hand and the power to go with that. Not a whole lot of moving parts, and that's what I really like about his game.
4 titles. Has a major. TOC in 2020. You saw the arsenal. You saw the strike in the left lane.
Take a look at those numbers, Dave. You can see how much slower he's throwing it. 18 miles an hour. How about these numbers? By Strike Track powered by Kia, Prather is 15 boards left of where Barnes played. That's 3 arrows.
Huge difference. All right, let's see how the Hall of Famer responds here. Trying to keep us perfect. You bet. Tattoos. The 1-3 pocket.
Remembered his last match, he had a couple of shots that were over 22 miles an hour. Chris has decided to back his ball speed down a little bit and play the lanes a little different.
Interesting.
And I think that's what's cool about this pattern is that you can play it a couple of different ways.
I'm not sure how he's focusing right next to the big crowd here. Yeah. Looking good, left lane. All right, 5 up, 5 down here. Perfect start.
Don't hit that guy's head too hard, Chris. You don't want to spill his beer.
19.8 miles an hour.
Better start.
Interesting.
This kind of stuffs 10 back right here. 7-9 goes late.
Unforgettable in 2019 in this building. Brandon didn't like that one, but it was a ring at 10 pin.
That was a good shot. And again, that might be that right lane being just a shade slicker. The ball moves down the lane a fraction past where you want it to come off the spot. It finishes late, and you leave the ring 10.
He didn't like it. Oh, watch it. Yeah, okay. We've seen a couple of problems on that right lane with single pin spare conversions. Unlock the ultimate fan experience with the all-new PBA Pinsiders program. Gear up with official PBA swag, member-only content, and inside access to our events. Join today at PBA.com. Great match is brewing here. Barnes, the first 3. 9 spare after the first 2 for Prather. The reigning king.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, Dave, take a look at these numbers right here, partner. In the words of Bob Uecker, just a bit outside and still gets back. And that's what happens when you have power and you have a hand like this. Oh, yeah.
Barnes looks for the front 4.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
Chris clicked.
Right through the nose, leaving the Greek church. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10.
0.2% conversion rate on this very difficult pickup. Greek church leave. No.
Mistake.
And a big loss in count.
You are correct. It's like 2 open frames in 1 frame. That 0.2% comes to us from our good friends at Lane Talk. You want to be a better bowler? Want to bowl more tournaments without ever leaving your home center? Head on over to lanetalk.com.
How will the Hall of Famer respond? Very good shot. 10-pin stands.
It always seems like that kind of stuff happens. You know, he's coming off the green church after 3 in a row, and then he's insulted by that. You know, it's not like he didn't take one to the gut in the 4th frame, and then comes back, labels a shot for 9.
The fans' reaction behind him, priceless. All right, can't make a mistake here. Chris Barnes does not do that.
Rolled around it.
Tied for 7th at the USBC Masters in Reno. Told you about the emotional match with A.J. Johnson. 16th of the U.S. Open, so 2 very good performances for Chris Barnes in majors.
I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't hear a word you just said. The bass was just absolutely blowing my eardrums out.
Place is rocking. It's awesome. Prather for a 22-pin lead. 10-pin again.
Well, I don't think there's any secret as to why Chris Prather chose to finish on the left lane, and it's just that this right lane's a little stubborn. Another stupid 10-pin back-to-back for
Darn
Prather.
10-pin. Well, I told us this week via Zoom, so pumped up to defend his title. His dad back home in the bowling center had the display, the Chris's Corner with a K. All of his trophies and the robe and the scepter and the crown from last year up there, but now it's here in Portland. It's time to defend, not to celebrate. Jaws music's going. I'm a little scared. They're chanting shark. Whoa. That movie still gives me the chills.
Do it again.
Big strike left lane for Prather.
Chris Prather takes the lead halfway through this match. Will he retain the throne? Stay with us.
Chris Prather, 12-pin lead. Head-to-head with the legend, the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes here at Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. The owner of Bayside, Charlie Mitchell, now joined by Kimberly Pressler.
And they love him here, and we love being here, Charlie. So tell us, I know this crowd is super excited to have us back, but you know what? After the year that everyone has had, what does it mean to finally have the pros back at Bayside?
Well, obviously, it's a pretty special event. You know, it's a wild year. In February of last year, I was finally buying this place on my own, and then in March, we were shutting down. But this is the party we've been waiting 15 months to have, and you can just feel the energy. And even when everything else shut down last year, the Bowl Portland League continued, and we were able to play our league and have everyone in here. And that bit of normalcy really helped get a lot of people through this. And to be able to have this moment to celebrate with them and to have everybody back, you know, it's a really special way to launch bowling on TV again, and it's so important to us. So
the atmosphere here is absolutely epic, and we're excited to be back. And we're also excited to see some great bowling. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yes, we are, Kimberly. Thanks. Great to see Charlie. Gave a really good answer despite the Charlie Mitchell chant.
Well, yeah, I get it. But, you know, Charlie's a pretty special guy. And I don't know of any other proprietor that loves bowling and loves the PBA more than Charlie Mitchell.
All right, back to bowling. Another shot, a big shot now. Troublesome right lane for Barnes. Oh, baby! Down goes the 10-pin.
Watch this messenger. Head pin. Sidewall. 10 pin. Get out of my face!
th all time with 19 career titles. Still at the top of his game.
Yes, sir! Right back in it.
Here we go.
He's not going anywhere.
Right back in it, especially if Prather can't strike on that right lane. He's only done it once, and that was in the first frame. Nice comeback, though, after the 5-1 in frame 4.
Greek Church? What Greek Church? It's in the past now. One of the great stars of the tour. 9 spare the last 2 times in the right lane for Prather. Oh, tap on the 10.
You know, that's what we call touch. He put such great touch on that shot. That's why he was able to get the 10 pin out. You can see the lines are almost mirroring one another from one shot to the next, but it was his touch that got that 10 out.
To the 8th. Chance for the turkey, chance for a 22-pin lead.
Working that chamois. Right now, you got to make sure your ball maintenance is perfect.
He told us he hoped he would hear the shark. Chance gets him pumped up. They've been right with him the whole way. Left lane.
Oh, boy.
That's got to trip it. My hit.
Almost 92% conversion rate for this spin. Seven. Yes. Spare the game brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will.
Well, I mean, it's just a 4-7. I know that Guaranteed Rate deserves a more complex spare, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to get one. Let's see what Chris Barnes can do now, because Barnes can get up and strike out and shut out Chris Prather.
Wait.
Yes, what a shot to tie things up in the 8th. Turkey for Barnes.
Yeah, I mentioned touch earlier, and this one had a touch of class on it for Barnes. 3 in a row to tie things up. Now, if he strikes here in the 9th, it doesn't matter what Prather does, because Barnes cannot be shut out.
What a run for Team USA. Oh, shot on the left lane. 4-bagger. And the lead.
Got away with one there.
Well, you heard Chris say he got away with one there. I think he got it inside of target just a little bit. But plenty on it. Now Prather must apply pressure.
The king wants to retain the throne, the crown, the scepter, the royal robes. That's how you do it.
Yeah, another good one here on the right lane from Prather. Now Prather doubles, or excuse me, if he strikes out in the 10th frame, he's going to force Chris Barnes to double.
Barnes refocuses. Left lane for Pressler, huge shot. Huge strike.
Well, remember, Chris Pressler won the inaugural playoffs here, beating Bill O'Neill and pocketing a cool $100,000. He was on the winning Lumberjacks team. He knows this environment. He knows these two lanes as well as anyone. And right now looking to apply the pressure to Barnes. 2 more. Barnes has to get a double in the 10th.
That's a sharp chance. Continue. Didn't like it.
Ooh, man.
That's why.
Yeah, right there, folks. Look at the number, big inside, and about 3 boards left, and doesn't trip the 4-10 out. Just the 4.
Big opportunity lost, and Barnes in great shape on the bench.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Goodness gracious, I can't believe it.
That's a mistake, and I'll tell you why. Because now Barnes can go 9 spare strike and win by 1.
Trying to seal the deal. Right lane. Hey!
Oh, my goodness.
The Hall of Famer delivers.
Oh, my goodness. He got that one a little bit right, folks. Just about 1.5 inches. And it came back and absolutely put a beat down on the pocket. Guess what we have right now?
5 straight strikes means one thing. The PBR 6-pack alert, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's what we got, Randy. Think the fans want it?
Yeah.
I'd say...
I guarantee it.
I'd say yes. How about it, Chris? Oh! It's the messenger! Oh, look out! Look out! Captain America! The PBA Tour and Pabst Blue Ribbon Los Angeles remind you to please drink responsibly. It's a Jersey Ripper. He's a superhero. He's not just a king. Chris Barnes, how about it? That was incredible. We are not worthy. There's a new king, and his name is Barnes. Chris Barnes takes the throne from Chris Pressler here in Portland. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will. And by the K5 from Kia. Movement that inspires. Beautiful scenery here in Portland, Maine. And time for the Grabs the Crown moment, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Jersey torn.
Yeah.
Amazing bowling by the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. A reminder coming up Next here on FS1, the PBA King of the Lanes presented by Pat's Blue Ribbon continues as contender Jesper Svensson and Parker Bowen III face off to meet King Barnes. Now for Randy Pedersen, Kimberly, Pressler, and the entire crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long for now. From Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine, you've been watching the PBA on FS1. What a day of bowling for the Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. He dethrones Chris Prather. So that means we have a new king of the lanes, at least for now, from Portland. And his name is Chris Barnes.